Hi guys, welcome back. So we are here in the studio. We're back in our main place of where we do these videos. We're not in a motorhome anymore. We have exited Knoxville Raceway from the biggest week in sprint car racing, made the 11 or 10-hour drive it was home yesterday, and we were tired last night, got home about 7 and went straight to bed. We were done. Obviously, long nights of obviously racing. We were staying up late doing YouTube videos, and we were obviously staying up late having a good time, hanging out in 3 and 4, sides bar and grill, dingus, whatever it was. And so we needed to go to bed a little bit early last night. So we were able to rest up, get a little rejuvenated. We still have a little bit more rejuvenating to do. We're not quite back to 100% yet, but we're getting there, and we'll be ready to go this week coming up when High Limit Racing gets back in action after 3 weeks off. Now, like I said, we just came off the biggest week in sprint car racing, the Knoxville Nationals, and now we go into what I am calling the biggest swing in West Coast racing history for 410 sprint cars. When you look back through history, the Outlaws used to have two West Coast swings. They go out to California once, they come back to the Midwest, and they come back to California again. Usually that first West Coast swing coming sometime after the start of Volusia, and then they come back, and then they come back to the Gold Cup later on in the year. That does not happen anymore. The Outlaws for the last couple of years have only had one West Coast swing, and that was due to a lot of the teams kind of complaining about going out there so many times throughout the year, a lot of gas, a lot of miles, a lot of blah, blah, blah. And so they kind of got rid of that first West Coast swing and made it just one at the end of the year for the Gold Cup. Well, now, with the addition of High Limit Racing and their West Coast swing, combined with the Outlaws, there are now two huge West Coast swings. There's 17 races for these 410 teams that run with King of the West and NARC, or run up there in Skagit or in the Oregon area as well, to come down and race against the best guys, see where their cars and their drivers, where they stack up against some of the best in the country, and obviously try and make some money along the way, right? So we've got the whole schedule for both High Limit on this side and the Outlaws on this side. Wanted to kind of go through it and show you just how crammed in these 17 races are over the next 5 weeks or so. There is 17 races in 5 weeks, and we'll show you just how crazy that is here in just a moment. But things get kicked off this week on August 15th. It's a Thursday night, the Thunder Bowl Raceway in Tulare, California. $25,000 to win and $1,500 to start. It's going to be fun to watch Kyle Larson come back to Tulare. He's only been there once or twice in the last 10 years. He ran with the Outlaws there, 2 years ago? And before that, it was like when he won the Trophy Cup. He has not been to Tulare very often, but one of his favorite tracks. So having Larson there, looking for what will be his 6th or 7th sprint car win in a row. Going to be fun to have him there. August 16th, the very next night, Friday night, it's going to be the Peter Murphy Classic for $20,000 to win at the Kings Speedway in Hanford, California, for $1,500 to start as well. And then on Saturday, August 17th, it's the 49er Gold Rush Classic at Placerville Speedway, for $12,000 to win and $1,200 to start. So obviously, there's a fire going on. If you're not familiar, there is a fire going on right now in the Placerville area. I did talk to Scott Russell, the owner of Placerville, on Saturday in Knoxville, and he kind of made it sound like everything was okay. Last I talked to him, they're about a 50-50, and it sounded pretty positive on this race happening. And that fire is relatively contained. That was on Saturday. Today's Monday, so things could have changed. But after I talked to Scott, I felt pretty positive and pretty confident that we're going to get the race in at Placerville on Saturday, August 17th. So after that 3-day swing, we're going to take a few nights off. Not very many, just a few. 5 days off. August 22nd and 23rd is the Gold Cup Race of Champions, the kickoff, the 2 prelim nights. Not every driver will race both those nights. It's a split field. So if there's 60 cars, 30 will go on Thursday, 30 will go on Friday. And those 2 races will be $10,000 to win and $1,000 to start, leading up to the finale of the 70th Gold Cup Race of Champions, which is $100,070 to win and $3,000 to take the green flag at the Silver Dollar Speedway on August 24th. That is a Saturday. Now, race number 7 for High Limit will take place just 2 nights later as we get to Oregon. So the first National Touring Sprint Car Series going to Oregon in quite a few years. I don't remember the last time that the Outlaws went to Oregon. It's definitely been quite a while. The Douglas County Dirt Track in Roseburg, Oregon. It is $12,000 to win, $1,200 to start. Very excited to get to that one. That's a new track for me. I did watch the NARC race they had earlier this year, and this place looks like an absolutely racy joint. So really excited to get there. And then 2 nights later, the Grace Harbor Raceway in Elma, Washington, 1,200 to start, or sorry, 1,200 to win, 12,000 to win, 1,200 to start. That 8th race of this swing for High Limit. And then we cap things off with a 3-night stand at the Skagit Speedway in Alger, Washington. The first 2 nights, unlike the Gold Cup, as of right now, as far as I know, it's not a split field or anything like that at Skagit unless they change things up. But the first 2 nights will be 10,000 to win, 1,000 to start. All drivers will take part in both of those races. And then that'll lead up to the $100,000 to win and $2,500 to start. Sage Fruit Skagit Nationals at Skagit Speedway. So a really good swing there for High Limit. You've got 11 races at, well, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different racetracks there. And then it's not too long until the teams that are racing out on the West Coast, the NARC teams, the local teams, if they're going to run all these races right here, they have, August 31st to September 6th. They're going to have about 6 days to get back down south to the Stockton Dirt Track for when the Outlaws come to town. 12,000 to win and 1,200 to start for that one on September 6th. That one is going to be cannot miss television, in my opinion, because the last time NARC raced at Stockton, I mean, it was, I don't even know how to describe it, because it was like they put the track together in like 20 minutes, right? And it was like a complete disaster. But obviously, they've probably made a lot of adjustments since then. And they're going to need to make adjustments to do it because the Outlaws are coming to town, right? So that one I'm going to be definitely watching. September 7th, the very next night, they go back down to the King Speedway. That is the Tom Tarleton Classic, 21,000 to win that one and 1,200 to start. And then a few nights later, September 13th, they keep going south to the Bakersfield Speedway in Bakersfield, California, 12,000 to win, 1,200 to start there. And then on September 14th, Merced Speedway in Merced, California, 12,000 to win, 1,200 to start there. And the Outlaws will end their swing with a big race as well. 2 nights at the Thunderbolt Raceway in Tulare, California. September 20th, it's a standard purse, 12,000 to win, 1,200 to start. And then the very next night, $83,000 to win the Dennis Roth Classic and $1,283 to start that race. So a lot of money on the line for these teams that race, obviously the teams that race full-time with High Limit, the teams that race full-time with the Outlaws, but really it's a lot of opportunities for the teams that race out there on the West Coast primarily. Those NARC King of the West teams, Justin Sanders, Dominic Scelzi, who am I missing? Shane Golovic, Colby Copeland, Dylan Bloomfield, Caden Steele, Gage Garcia, I know Cole Macedo. I'm missing some guys in there. I know I am. But it's going to be a whole lot of fun. A really great, assortment of racetracks all across the state of California. Obviously, for High Limit, we go to a couple more states with Oregon and Washington. But, my favorite thing about this swing is the size of the racetracks, right? We're not going to half miles. We're not going to 4/10 miles. We're going to racetracks that, if you know me and you watch this channel, you know I like 3/8, 1/3 miles, quarter miles, and that is all that we've got here on this list. I think the biggest track on the list is the Thunderbolt Raceway. I think that is the biggest one, and it's like a 3/8 mile, right? So, and we know the racing that can happen at Thunderbolt. So this is going to be an awesome swing. I know there's a couple guys coming in from, that have been racing in the Midwest. They're going to be making their way over here to the West Coast. I heard that Austin McCarl is going to be coming to Skagit. And then we got, I saw a picture on Facebook yesterday that Jamie Veal is going to be coming from Australia to run, a couple races here with High Limit as well. We know that Tanner Holmes is going to be there. It sounds like Landon Brooks might be coming as well. Caleb Henry's going to come back to his home state. He's been racing in Ohio and winning a lot this year. He's going to be coming back as well. And then you throw in all the regular West Coast guys, the NARC guys. It is going to be so much fun. I cannot wait. Going back to my home area, tracks that I've been to a bunch. But you bring out all these good race car drivers. And what's cool also is for the fans, the fans have seen the Outlaws, right? They've seen big time racing, but they get to see some new cars, right? They haven't seen Brent Marks in a long time. They've never seen Tyler Courtney in the 7BC. They don't get to see Zeb Wise in the 26 that much, or Parker Price Miller. They don't get to see Corey Day as much as they used to, right? They've seen Corey Day a lot, but they haven't seen him in a long time. But they're going to see new cars and new teams come out to the West Coast, and it's going to be a whole lot of fun. Obviously, Rico Abreu in the mix as well. So I'm very excited. Now, these 17 races happening in 37 days, so 5 weeks. 5 weeks. There's 17 races. To put that into perspective, the entire NARC King of the West Sprint Car Series is 27 races. That's their entire schedule throughout the entire year, and they've already rained out 4 races, right? So really their schedule is 23 races, and there's going to be 17 in this time span in 37 days. So a great opportunity here for those King of the West teams. If you were somehow able to win every one of these races, which is not going to happen, $453,000 just as the winner's share. And then if you're a team that makes every single feature, right? If you made every one of these 17 features, with the exception of the one at Silver Dollar, you can only run one of those nights. To start all of the races and finish dead last, you're going to be in the neighborhood of 22 grand just to take the green flag and make these races. Obviously, if you ran dead last in all of those and made every feature, that is the worst luck of all time. You might want to go to a doctor and get that checked out because that would be unbelievable if you ran dead last in 17 straight races. But we know you're going to, a guy is not going to do that. If he makes every race, he's going to run 12th. He's going to run 8th. He's going to have a couple good runs here and there. But that is the bare minimum. If you made every single race, you're going to get about 22 grand. So really, really good money. Very excited to get out to the West Coast. Starts this Thursday at the Thunderbolt Raceway in Tulare, California. We're going to have race previews coming out for those 3 races. We're starting tomorrow. I'll be heading out of town on Wednesday to get back there. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Comment down below. What are your thoughts on the West Coast Swing and what we've got going on here? Hit the like button, hit subscribe, and we'll talk to you all again here very soon.